Hello everyone, Namaste. Welcome back to RightCast, your go-to podcast for international education. I'm your host Richa Pandey. Joining us today is very special guest, Mr. Luke Parrot, Director of Graduate Admissions, University of Denver, Daniel College of Business. Daniel College of Business is one of the most respected and oldest business school in the USA, known for its innovative programs, strong industry connection, and commitment towards shaping global leaders. So let's welcome Luke. Welcome to RightCast, Luke.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
How are you feeling to be here in Nepal today?
Well, this is my first time visiting Nepal, and it feels familiar to Denver because the mountains surrounding here are similar.
Really? Okay. So without any delay, let's move into the conversation. I would like to initiate our conversation asking you about the Daniels College of Business itself. Could you please share about the Daniel College of Business?
Yes, the Daniels College of Business is in the University of Denver, Colorado, USA. And we're proud to have one of the top 100 business schools in the country with wonderful STEM-based programs and MBA.
Okay, so moving on, I would like to ask you about, many students want to pursue their degree in USA. So from your perspective, what makes, US education system stand out for the international students?
Yes, that's a great question. I think the active learning classroom and the close touch to businesses and employers that's a part of that academic learning is what makes it the most valuable for our students to come to the US.
Okay, so many students are curious to know about the eligibility criteria to get into the Daniel College of Business also. So, what requirements are there? Could you please share us that also?
Yes, we have familiar application requirements for most students. You're submitting your transcripts, your resume. We have two specific essays that we require for students instead of a statement of purpose. You'll be talking a little bit more about the College of Business and what your interests are in joining us. We also do an interview that's required for students to really get to know us one-to-one, because in the classroom, you'll be talking a lot with your professor. So we want to simulate that in the admissions process.
So you mentioned about the interview. So is it for both the programs, like all the programs?
Yes. After we do a complete review of all of your application materials, we will request an interview with you.
And how is the application evaluated, holistically? Like, what are the major things students need to be aware of?
Yes, well, I know the students are always conscientious of their transcripts and their GPA, their English test scores if they need to provide those. But we were really looking for students who are able to demonstrate to us that they will be actually comfortable to interact with employers when they're with us. So the interview is very important to be able to demonstrate that ability to talk back and forth with question and answer. And also the essays really help us see a little bit more of the other side of the student than just their scores.
Okay. So do students need to appear the tests such as GRE, GMAT or SAT?
The GMAT or GRE for us is test optional.
Okay.
And so a lot of our students are choosing not to submit those test scores if they feel that their GPA is at 3.0 or above.
Okay. Suppose the student has done GRE or GMAT and they have a good score, then do they get any scholarships?
Yes. Well, they will be evaluated for strong scholarships no matter if they submit GMAT or GRE. We have high scholarships, 40, 50, and 60% as averages for our programs. But if you submit a test score like the GMAT or the GRE and it is at our strong averages, then we can probably see maybe 10 to 20% more. So maybe the higher end of those ranges of scholarship available.
Okay, so now let's talk about the popular programs from this reason. Like I have seen many students want to go to the STEM designated programs. So what are the quite popular programs from this reason from your perspective?
Yes, so we do have a strong base of STEM-based programs, business analytics, finance, and then accounting and analytics. And so those are our three main STEM-based programs. Our MBA is also going through the process of review for STEM designation, but it's not yet approved. But for the STEM-based programs, we currently have two students from Nepal that have gone through the accounting program, one who's already found some great placement of work just inside Denver, and then one who's going through the program right now and getting internships.
Okay, so now I'd like to talk to you about the application fee also. Do the Daniel College of Business has the application fee for the international students?
We do have an application fee of $100 and $50 for the international transcript evaluation. And so students should look at those requirements as they consider applying to Daniels.
Okay, so beyond textbooks, what are the skills that students need to have? What do you think? What suggestion would you like to give to them?
Well, I would say that students should really demonstrate a deep understanding of our curriculum that's so interactive that we want to put you right in front of employers and businesses in the Denver community. And so you want to show that desire to get out of the classroom, to engage with people in our business community, not just for the sake of learning, but also for the opportunities that might present themselves for internships or future job placement.
Okay, so moving on, there's another challenge that a student face. Going to new country, settling to new country, having that environment, everything, adjusting to them is really challenging. So what is Daniel College of Business doing? How supportive are they in terms to support the international student, make it feel second home there?
Yes. So there's certainly things that we have to do to help you get there, supporting you through the I-20 process and getting you through to the visa approval. But once you arrive to campus, students are really welcomed with one-to-one relationships, both with their academic advisors and their career coaches. We also have a Daniels Beyond Borders student group of all gathered international students who like to give you tips and tricks once you arrive to campus. So this is beyond everything you've researched and figured out for yourself. And they will help you get adjusted to your first week of classes, share with you maybe where some comfort food might be found that's from your hometown. We are an international city, and so we probably have your food nearby at a local restaurant. And they'll give you those tips and tricks to make life easier.
Okay, thank you so much for such an insightful information, Luke. Now, moving on, we have, few questions from our students regarding Daniel College of Business. So without any delay, let's get started.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. One of our students, Prakriti, has asked, is SAT or GRE GMAT requirement is there in this college?
We are a test optional position on the GMAT or the GRE, which means you do not have to submit that test score.
Okay, so let's move to another. What are the eligibility criteria for scholarship by Kavita?
Yes, so we do apply a holistic review of the application. And so you'll want to look at your GPA first, I think, to make sure it's above 3.0. If it is, then if you are wanting to supply the GMAT or GRE, that can always be helpful, but not always necessary. After that, you really want to put forward a strong interview and good essay questions that answer the questions that we are wanting you to learn and know about Daniels College of Business. That full review takes place for us, and that's where we see the strongest average scholarships come together. So a balance of those quantitative scores that you're submitting and some degree of ability to connect and network is shown in evidence of interviews and essay conversations.
Okay, so moving on. So by Akriti, she has asked, why should we choose this university?
You should choose the University of Denver because you will find that it is near the mountains, Rocky Mountains in the United States, which will feel like a little bit of home from being here in the Himalayan Valley. And I think you will also find that the climate is better suited for you and the food is available and welcoming you to have a little taste from home so you won't feel too far, and we can help you with that homesickness.
So another student, Pooja, has asked, do you provide scholarship or financial aid for international students?
Yes, so our scholarships all include graduate assistantships as well. And so students can get a stipend and work 10 hours a week while they're going through the programs, which really helps and supports their living expenses.
Okay, so the last one. How many intakes are there in this university and what is their application period by Shreya?
Great question. We have 2 intakes. The first is fall, most traditionally, but we start in September, so that gives our students a little bit more time to prepare their applications. We also have a spring intake for all of our master's in science programs, the 1-year programs that we can also extend out to 2 years for you. And so business analytics, finance, and accounting can start in spring as well. Our spring intake is April 1st, so it does give students more time to prepare and sit for their exams, their tests, and submit their application to us.
Okay, thank you, Luke. I hope our students' doubts are cleared. So Moving on, we have now the last segment, that's myth and fact. I will read aloud a sentence and you just have to say, is it myth or fact?
Okay.
So let's get started. So yeah, number one, studying in the USA is only for the wealthy students.
Myth. There are strong scholarships available for everyone.
Okay. So 3 years bachelor's degrees are not accepted in the USA.
Myth. At our school, we do accept those.
Okay. So scholarships are only given for high academics and not for the sports or talent students.
Myth. We look at the whole view of the student, not just their academic.
Okay. The last one. All universities in the USA require SAT, GRE, and GMAT.
Myth and fact. You have to talk to the university to see what their standards are.
Okay, so thank you so much, Luke. Now, before we wrap up, I would like to ask you last question. Any students who are planning to go to coming intake, spring intake, what advice, suggestion would you like to give to them, how they can come up and prepare before going to USA?
Yes, I think the best advice we're currently giving is to start sooner than you normally would for spring intake. For us, we have April 1st is our start. So there's still a lot of time, but we're seeing that students need to have their I-20 forms a little bit sooner than they used to in order to see the slots open up in time. So just getting your application in 1 month or 2 months before so that you can have that I-20 in hand is best.
Okay, so I want to add one last question in this only. Many students are quite nervous, before going to visa interview. So what tips would you like to give to them?
Yes, the number one tip that we've heard, and this is directly from the embassy themselves, is confidence. They just want to know that you're confident that you've chosen the right school and the right location in the US for you to succeed in your educational goals. So make sure you're focused on that.
Okay, thank you so much, Luke. It was great talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you.